it came to my attention that a DJ, I'm not going to say any names because I don't think it's necessary. A DJ basically said that a lot of the pioneers in hip hop they're dusty, or how can they be the person that invented hip hop? This idea that you have to have money or else you don't have any value is a bad idea, and it's a misinformed way of looking at the world and the culture.
Good looking out, bro. I'm not an old nigga just sitting on the porch that is critical of the younger niggas and how they move, and how some of these old niggas, oh, in my day it was this, that, and the third. We had to walk 3 miles to get to school. Fuck that shit, right? Because nowadays niggas just jump in an Uber. And I always come from the position that if you're not moving with the times and adapting to the newness or the freshness of whatever the fuck is going on in your particular genre or however you're moving, then you're going to get left behind, man. You're going to be a dinosaur, and you're going to be one of these motherfuckers that's just throwing rocks at fucking cars that's driving by talking about they going too fast or some shit. But again, like I said, a lot of these cats, or because of the way that I kind of look at things, or because of my ability to have had adapted to the newness of whatever the fuck was going on, and finding some pleasure and some fucking likability in the newness of the culture, how the culture changed. A lot of times I could kind of see where a nigga my age might be kind of left in the dust in terms of current thinking. And what he was doing is he was describing why motherfuckers in today's age are being able to make multi-million-dollar deals, tens of millions of dollars, as kind of like the normal, and how cats from back in the days who didn't reap any of the monetary benefits kind of bark at that kind of shit as though it's unimportant, and that your contribution or whatever the fuck to hip hop has to be something more than money. Rappers, I come from the era, like I was a D-boy when rappers were trying to come up. Rappers used to emulate our lives, right? We actually lived the life that these niggas talked about. These niggas were square niggas who kind of came into the game looking at the lives of guys like me and the cats that I fuck with, and kind of putting it in rhythmic and lyrical fashion that kind of sound good. So the very first niggas that supported the rappers was the street niggas, right? The niggas that felt you was talking about us. The thing about it is the rappers weren't looking at the emergence of hip hop as like this underground railroad to get out of poverty, and that everybody was going to have a chance, that you needed to spread the word, and your homies was getting. No, it wasn't like that at all. Niggas was out for death. Niggas was out for dolo, period. It was all about you and your shit. You feel what I'm saying? How much shit you could accumulate. Rapping was a braggadocious art form. It was all about your shit. How much shit did you accumulate? And part of that was kind of fucking keeping the door closed for a nigga that might be a competitor. In any event, you're not going to get a record deal and be like, oh yeah, let me go back to the hood to the nigga that I was battling on the corner and tell him, look, man, you need to put you a demo to get. Nah, niggas was all about keeping that shit to themselves, rising up above the competition, kind of moving the way that they was moving. And it was more about yourself, not about broadening the culture. So 40 years later, when you have motherfuckers that want to stand on this virtual signaling and some more shit, like, oh yeah, if it wasn't for us opening the doors for niggas like you, you wouldn't even be able to blah, 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 blah. I just think that's some bullshit, right? You wasn't trying to open up no doors. The doors that were open that you went in got firmly slammed behind you. And for those who were able to creep through whatever cracks and crevices might have been left to get through after you, say, an artist signing an artist, then you was in a predatory position and shit, right? You were utilizing your position to take advantage of another motherfucker's talent. So don't give me that shit about you are for the culture, you was for the culture. If it wasn't for me, things like this couldn't have happened. Nah, the thing about it was y'all fucked up. All you niggas from the 80s and 90s, you fucked up. You niggas was some wretched ass motherfuckers. Let me just say it. I was one of you. I was the nigga that was on the block, you know what I'm saying, pushing that poison and shit, right, that you niggas was rapping about, right? Thing is I understand, you know, and take accountability for what I did. I also know that I wasn't trying to open up the door for a bunch of niggas to get in and be on my level, you know what I'm saying, with that crack game. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I would have been trying to get a nigga to work for me or some fuck shit like that, right? Because that was what the culture was at the time. The culture wasn't about, oh yeah, we got access to all this motherfucking powder and we know how to turn it into rocks. Let's just open it up for everybody else. It was like, nah, let me get the fuck up out of here and go spread my shit to somewhere else. Let me go to fucking Denver, Vegas, Houston, Omaha. You know what I'm saying? Let me get the fuck up out of here and go do some shit. Fuck them niggas in the hood. They got to figure it out themselves. Well, you niggas was just like us. I'm just able to stand on my shit. You niggas won't stand on the motherfucking thing. All you niggas that had big deals became millionaires in the 80s and 90s through hip hop, through your hip hop artistry. I'm not taking nothing away from your talent. You was piss poor businessmen. You know what I'm saying? To start off, you got fucked, right? All y'all's deals was fucked up. You know how I know? Because in 2020 through 2022, all you sorry motherfuckers have been begging for motherfuckers to make you whole again about some fucked up shit that you signed your life away on 30 years ago. All you motherfuckers. So the thing about it is, at the time that you guys started crying about the mistakes that you made, right? Not even mentioning the doors that you left closed for niggas behind you. But at the time that you guys started crying about the mistakes you made, it just happened to be at the same time that streaming was blowing up. And what you niggas realized, right, that not only did you not open up no fucking doors for no niggas behind you, what you actually did was you negotiated yourselves out of future earnings from technologies that didn't exist at the time that you signed your shit. Okay. The thing about it is everything kind of is wrapped up in ownership, right? You niggas didn't know fuck about ownership and you didn't give a fuck, right? All the way to the quote unquote pseudo record company owners / production company motherfuckers. You guys didn't care about masters and publishing and that kind of shit until Suge started talking that shit. All you motherfuckers cared about was making the music and having the white boys distribute that shit and being able to control the other niggas under you, right? So when it came time to you niggas to start complaining and crying about what you didn't get because now streaming has popped up, streaming is making more money than record sales ever did. And you niggas is trying to figure out how can I get a piece of the pie that I baked 30 years ago? And these young niggas is listening to you. And they saying, damn, that was kind of fucked up. Why would you sign some shit like that? I'm not going to fucking sign no shit like that. So the pivot came. These young niggas deciding that these older niggas wasn't no fucking business, man. They didn't give us no game about the fucking that they took. All they did was try to keep the fucking cycle going, and we ain't going for this shit.